number 1610, Kez, number 1981, Red Mist, number 2020, Axel Bruise, number 222, Trouble, number 3, Mother, number 4, Stingray, number 47, Betty Bone Crusher, number 55, Kilgill, number 7, Suki Smackhouse, number 7530, Vander Mosley, number 911, Pain Lane, and number 917, Iron Tyrant.
Brilliant. And Team England, the rundown we have for them today is number 7, Ella Story. Number 11 is Faye Roberts. 129 is Just Jess. Number 13 is Stephanie Maney. 22 is Rogue Runner. Number 3 is Onyeka Igwe. Number 4 is Delta Strike. 40 is Kid Block. 419 is Philly. 666 is Alex Valentine. 6955 is Menace. 8008 is Gaz. 84 is Katie Helvetica Black. 86 is Terry Sedrin, and 888 is Shaolin Scarlet.
So this is the second game for both of these teams today.
Indeed.
Earlier today we saw Team South Africa, or Team ZA, you will also hear them called. They did an 11-point loss against Greece, so not a very bad game. Very close, back and forth, lead jams going back and forth for both teams. And then, of course, England with a big win.
Big win.
Yeah, with Team Korea. That was 201 to 44. So again, for these little 30-minute games, the period clock runs the entire 30 minutes, even including timeouts. The only time the clock stops is for official timeouts and for injuries. So they're going very quickly. Very little time for teams to adjust. Some teams are second half teams, so it's tricky for both of these teams. I think this is going to be a very well-matched game.
Yeah, I was saying to you before we came on mic that I've been looking forward to this all day. We've been lucky enough to have some really incredible games so far this tournament. But when I saw that I was down for England, South Africa, I was like, I just get a feeling that this is going to be a really full-on, fast-paced, action-packed game.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, Team England with a lot of fans in the house.
Of course.
So we'll see what happens here. So we're already on the line here.
So up to jam first for Team England, we have number 07, that is Ella Story. And they are joined on the line by 000 Booty Queen.
And we'll have Team England will be in white with red accents, and Team ZA or South Africa in black with leopard, or actually, what is that? I guess it's leopard. I don't know, some kind of animal print of some kind, yes.
And the gold panels down the side as well. So we are straight into the action. Story going for the inside line, and clipped off again and again. Looking for the outside now. Up on the toe stops, nearly through, but absolutely denied.
Ella Story on the inside, but knocked to the inside, having to reset. That is number 7, Suki Smackhouse from Team South Africa.
I was mistaken with our jammers. Also, it is 001 Bug Off is our jammer. I do apologise about that for South Africa.
Heavy defense we see already for both of these teams. They haven't even gotten past the pivot line. We're barely past the pivot line. We have one through, and England has the first lead jam status.
Absolutely, and of course, because we've said that we haven't had a lead jammer, it has to happen.
Absolutely.
But it did take nearly a full minute for that lead to be achieved. Ella Story now back up to the pack, looking for a scoring pass, but South Africa are presenting what is quite frankly a phenomenal wall.
They sure are, but through again. 5 more points go, 5 points go on the board. The first 5, Ella Story in command of this jam as the lead jammer.
Bug Off now looking to remove that helmet cover, possibly hoping for a star pass.
5 more points for England. Good start already. Again, we have a little trouble for the Team South Africa jammer and that fierce wall of blockers for England.
So we have had a star pass. It's now our South African pivots in possession of the star. They took a bit of a tumble coming out into turn 2, and Igwe was right on it. Really quick reformation right in front of the jammer, not giving them even an opportunity to to kind of get back on their wheels before they just said, you shall not pass.
You shall not pass. Iron Tyrant was the pivot that took the helmet cover. All right, so we are going to reset already. Now that is on the line. That is Alex Valentine, number 666 for England, up against number 47, Betty Bone Crusher for Team ZA, South Africa.
We are going to start with a slight pack advantage to South Africa with one England blocker in the box. It is the pivot from the previous jam. The advantage doesn't make a bit of difference though. Valentine straight round on the outside to pick up lead jammer. However, we also do have an initial pass completed by Betty Bone Crusher for South Africa.
So she's going to try to catch up and force the call. And hands in the air, and there is the call. But not before 4 more points go on the board for Team England. Now 19-0 or Z. Oh, well, hey, look at that. There's a.
So take another quick look at that outside line as we mentioned at the start of the jam. Just super quick, some really nice swarming from the England blockers to cause a little bit of confusion in the pack, but they left that outside line open, and that's how Betty Bone Crusher was able to capitalize on that.
All right, now we're going to see number 13. That is Stephanie Mamie for England. And trying to go through the inside line. That is number 1981, Red Mist for Team South Africa. But our lead jammer is Team England.
Stephanie Maney.
Stephanie.
Some nice transitional work around the outside. Saw her through there. Nice control on display from Red Mist. Got taken down to a knee on that first straightaway, but managed to maintain that inbound status.
Stephanie playing for the Bay Area Roller Derby out of San Francisco.
Can hear a few penalties being issued. Maney looking for another scoring pass. But the South African defence has really zipped up coming into turn 2, my apologies. And again, Igwe going in with the offense.
And another 4 points on that last pass for Stephanie Maney.
Okay, so it does look like we've had a star pass for South Africa. Iron Tyrant now your active jammer.
And now finally getting out of turn 1, moved on to turn 2. Stephanie again, another 4 points. As she finds that inside lane readily available for her. Her team, of course, opening up a little bit of space for her.
Some big contact there, taking multiple skaters to the floor. Nice skip and a jump along the outer edge of turn 2. Sees Maney through. Looks like she was about to call it, but signals from her bench say, nope, let it run.
Let it run indeed. That was a big jam for Stephanie Maney. 25 points on that last jam. 44 now for England. And South Africa still has yet to score. I'm a bit surprised by this, but again, huge defensive walls for both teams. Just England just doing a little bit better on their offense right now.
Absolutely, and I mean, we're moving into jam 3, so we are actually only 2 jams in, and I know that we've seen England both at this tournament here and previous tournaments have sometimes racked up a considerably larger score already. So I think the defensive actions from that first jam in particular from South Africa are showing readily.
Delta Strike, your lead jammer for Team England. And then we've got Bug Off jamming for Team South Africa. Bug Off jamming a lot this morning against Team Greece.
Very nice takeoff there from Booty Queen on the outside line, setting Delta Strike all the way back round to turn 4.
Booty Queen is quite the jammer killer. She really anchors that back wall there.
Again, another recycle from the South African blockers.
It's Bug Off with the helmet cover in her hand. But scoring right now is Team England. 10 points so far this jam for Delta Strike.
Yeah, I mean, we're over a minute into the jam. Delta Strike did manage to obtain lead jammer quite early on, so I think it really shows how difficult that last scoring pass was.
That's right. Another 4 points. Was it 5 points there for Delta Strike? And another 5, so the 20 points already. Natural Grand Slam.
No additives. Gluten-free, vegan-friendly.
And again, another 5.
Big hit there to Delta Strike, taking her down. Coming into turn 2.
And Booty Queen picking up a penalty, maybe at the last whistle there for that.
Do you believe it was an out of play block that was issued there? So that is now the highest jam that we have seen so far. It was obviously succeeding that previous highest jam that we had of 25 points. That's going to be a 30-point jam on the board, which with just over 21 minutes left of this game sees England 74 to South Africa's nothing.
And back on the line, Ella Story. We've seen her jamming for Team England. As I even finished her name, she comes out of the inside, picking up lead jammer for England. Betty Bone Crusher with the helmet cover for Team South Africa.
Taking a big hit along the inside apex, but managing to ride the momentum to complete the initial pass.
And with a call from her bench to call it off. Picks up another 4 for Team England, now 78.
Okay, folks, so this next jam will be brought to you by Kaya Skates, the Kaya Sapphire lightweight composite shell from the box fit, affordable, durable, and available now. Hashtag it's time.
And here we go again. Alex Valentine jamming for Team England. Only one more player to pass. She does. She's lead jammer.
It's Red Mist back up with the jammer helmet cover on, facing a seriously strong wall. I say wall, it looks like specifically one blocker, number 86 Terry Sudren, had turned sideways and was offering sort of her ribcage area, but just holding fast.
Holding fast, a little bit of a pyramid formation, but really just the one blocker doing most of the work there. Of course, we see Team England on a 6-jam lead streak so far, and again, of course, the points reflect that.
Absolutely. We've got 19 and a half minutes remaining, and we're already seeing England up past the 80-point mark.
Alex Valentine putting 10 points on the board so far this jam. We are in jam number 6. Full complement of blockers on both teams, with Booty Queen now at the front of the pack with a nice knock to the outside, forcing the reset.
Booty Queen managing to take Alex Valentine off balance and recycle. And we've had a star pass as well for Team South Africa.
So that was Vander Mosley that took the star at the end before the whistle was called. 13 points for that last jam. 91 now for Team England and Team South Africa. Surprisingly, nothing on the board yet.
Really effective use of the star pass, though. You can see that the jammers they're giving it a very good shot to try and get through, but they're only giving it 1 or 2 passes of the opposition before they're trying to do that star pass. And as we've seen there, a 13-point jam compared to our previous 30 and 25-point jams, that star pass really did help to shut down the jam.
Nope.
Maney, your lead jammer for England right now, And that's 2020 Axel Bruce.
Axel Bruce playing for the C-Max Roller Derby League out of Johannesburg. This is her first World Cup.
Mainly with that brilliant footwork that we know so well, trying to work her way around those blockers. They gave her a good run, but she did manage to complete another scoring pass. 5 more points on the board for England, and that sees them breaking the century as well.
And Team South Africa still held scoreless. Team England's defense just a little bit too much.
So Axel Bruce has removed the helmet cover. Looks like she's trying to complete a star pass. But Just Jess is getting all up in her grill. She's a Jess and Gaz sandwich.
So Team South Africa, pretty new to roller derby world. Of course, they have such a long way to travel for all of these kinds of games.
Absolutely.
Team England, a little local advantage.
Yeah.
Mostly made up from Rainy City roller derby, London roller girls.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, many of the skaters, especially those obviously from Rainy City, probably wouldn't have had to leave their house until maybe an hour before their game today.
That's right.
It's the joy of having it right on your doorstep.
That is the joy of it, exactly. No jet lag to contend with as you come halfway across the world. Of course, a lot of these teams have come in a little early and done some scrimmages ahead of time, which is kind of nice, so you sort of shake the jet lag off a little bit. Delta strike for Team England, bug off for South Africa. Bug off just having a tough time at that back wall. That all 4 blockers of Team England holding her back. We have a lead jammer for Team England, that is Delta strike.
Bug off with the helmet cover removed. Delta strike looks like she took a hit coming through on the outside there.
We'll see if she tries to do another star pass as Delta strike just hops very easily through that turn 1 corner. Again, her team just really doing a great job of just moving the entire South Africa pack over to the side and leaving that inside lane for her.
Delta strike with another skip and a jump for another Grand Slam pass.
Again, turn 1, just seeing all the action just stopped right there as Delta strike just goes around and around. Now so far 15 points, another 5 go up.
I tell you what, obviously we're seeing a lot of fight from both teams in this game, but this has got to be a brilliant test of stamina for both of them as well.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we have had a cutting penalty issued to South Africa's pivot, who is now the active jammer after that star pass from bug off.
So then we have a power jam for
we do
Team
indeed.
England. Team South Africa made up mostly of leagues around South Africa, Cape Town, Johannesburg, with the exception of Booty Queen, who skates for Texas Roller Girls, but Booty Queen is actually one of the trainers, and Debella DeBall right now in the center talking to some of the officials, and she's also a Texas Roller Girl with and skates for the Texecutioners, and she's also one of their coaches.
Fantastic stuff. I think that's my favorite thing about the World Cup and the teams within it is just the teams aren't just made up of people that live in that nation. There's obviously that heritage is relevant as well, and you can have teams made up from people all over the world.
That's right. I think you have to have a grandmother or some closer relative,
yes,
or living in the country.
I think it varies from team to team on the guidelines, but yeah, from what I've heard, it is a lot of sort of either grandparents or as you say, almost sort of citizenship, or you've been living in the country for X amount of time.
Yep.
So we have I do believe that's Ella Story, yes, 07, your lead jammer for England at the moment. 7530, Vanda Mosley is now your jammer for South Africa. And manages to break through. This is the first initial pass that we've seen from South Africa for a very long time.
Yes, indeed. It took almost the entire 2 minutes to get through.
Let's take another look at this. We can see Ella Story fighting through, completing that pass, managing to pick up that lead jammer after getting that big hit coming out of turn 1.
You gotta love an instant replay.
So we have number 666 Valentine up on the jammer line with number 47 Betty Bonecrusher.
England really liking that inside line. Booty Queen now up front. Oh, but through turn 1 again, lead jammer goes to Alex Valentine, Team England.
Meanwhile, at the back of the pack, Betty Bonecrusher being recycled by Kid Block and being fed straight into that triangle wall. Real swarming pack as we come into turn 1 once again. Some big contact there, taking multiple skaters down. Quick recoveries all around though.
It's right, a little game of pick up sticks or pick up skaters as everybody fell down in turn 2. Again, quick on their feet. The athleticism of this game has changed so much.
We've come a long way, baby.
That's right.
So we've got Valentine looking for another scoring pass. Such brilliant control up on the toe stops, managing to work her way around the hips of Booty Queen.
That's right. With a little help from her teammate, Philly, number 419, going up and breaking up that wall at South Africa. 5 more points for England. Already 20 points so far of this jam, number 10. 10.5 minutes left in this game.
Booty Queen by name, by nature.
That's right. Jammer Killer is what another little nickname we should have for her. But again, who'd have thought having a booty would be so valuable? But in roller derby, it is a good thing.
Oh,
the
yeah.
bigger, the better.
You work with what you've got.
That's right. One of my favorite things about this sport, actually, is you can be any size, shape, or form as long as you're out there and you're playing roller derby.
Absolutely. But just taking another look at it, we did get a penalty, so that was our big pile-up. And we did end up with a cutting penalty being issued on our jammer from the previous jam.
So now we have Team South Africa with their jammer in the penalty box. We're going to start off unopposed for Stephanie Maney and a power jam. There's also a blocker.
2 blockers.
2 blockers, that's right.
Nope, you're right, 1 blocker. It's the alt ref I can see.
Ah, yes.
I do believe I could see some interaction between our refs between the jams. I believe that our jammer from South Africa would also have been issued a insubordination penalty at the end of that jam because she got called for a penalty coming into the straightaway coming into turn 3, but she didn't actually leave the track until she got to the penalty box.
So there you go, serving a double penalty. So a little bit more time for Team England to add to that already large total. We're approaching 200 right now. 10 points on this jam for Stephanie Maney. Another 5 go up as I finish saying that. There's a pack advantage for Team England.
Indeed, and I've just spotted with my eagle eye an illegal procedure penalty being issued to our South African jammer as well. It looked like she was given the go-ahead to stand up and went to leave the box.
So a minute and a half for so far.
Yes.
Let's hope she gets it right this time. They need all this time.
Meanwhile, back on track though, we do have some really nice 2-wall work up the front of the pack. Maney has managed to get out, but not without taking some big hits from the South African defense.
It's a Suki Smackhouse up at the front there. And we are finally through. Betty Bone Crusher getting through. Again, it's been a few jams. And we have a...
Those points are not going to count, folks.
It's a forearm penalty now as Betty Bone Crusher goes back into the penalty box. So that'll be 2 minutes in this game so far for her.
So we have had a team timeout called by South Africa.
Again, the clock will not stop as this team timeout is happening.
No, indeed.
But it might give them a little bit of time to kind of regroup as we see the instant replay there of that forearm
that incredible
penalty.
moment that we have to pretend didn't happen.
That's it. Well, while we have this time, let's go ahead and thank some of our sponsors. Cheese Ball Precision Skate Bearings, the original hand-prepared skate bearing, available in-house at the Quad Skate Shop or online. Of course, you are not here in the venue, so look online at Cheese Ball Precision Bearings. Let's see, tune in at 7:30 p.m. That's UK time. So for those of you in the US, that's 6 hours behind for Central Time. That's the final game of the day for a day one roundup, looking back at all of the action, the best highlights and interviews, and a live studio audience participation.
Awesome.
Tell your friends.
I do love me some audience participation.
And of course, you can play along online on Twitter at Roller Derby World Cup or at Rainy City Roller Derby, and Instagram at Roller Derby World Cup and at Rainy City Roller Derby, and hashtag RDWC 2018.
Beautiful. We are back to it. We have, that is Delta Strike has raced around the outside to pick up lead jammer. Power jam start, of course, penalty from the previous jam. Delta Strike taking a massive hit coming round on turn one and basically completing that scoring pass up on 1 foot.
It only takes one, sometimes even one wheel. I've seen some crazy maneuvers from some of these athletes. 4 more points.
And we have our jammer from South Africa out of the penalty box and straight into the pack. That is 7530 Van der Mosley.
Skaters going down all over the place here as Team England calls that jam. Not before another 12 points go on the board. So now with 2:29 and still scoreless.
Still scoreless. Although I do believe, yes, this is a sizable loss, but there's definitely things to take away from this.
Oh, absolutely.
The Team South Africa have basically just been treated to a 30-minute boot camp scrim with England, essentially, where they've been able to pick up all of their tips and tricks.
That's right.
And I get the feeling that we're going to see some of this tomorrow.
That's right. Well, and again, today is just a little bit for seeding, so all the points do count. So we'll see how it goes. Mm-hmm. Again, win-loss differentials don't necessarily mean anything compared to some of the other games, and so we'll have to suss it all out, sort it out, and figure out the rankings for tomorrow.
Exactly. So we've got Ella Story picking up the lap points. Meanwhile, we've had a star pass within the South African ranks.
That's to Iron Tyrant.
Story again, just so bouncy.
And just taking that inside lane. That turn one seems to be the favorite lane for Team England.
Spot.
Yeah, it is the sweet spot. There's hop, skipping, and jumping. Team England, of course, just doing a phenomenal job holding that defense and just pushing over the team just enough to get their jammers through.
Just like that.
Yep, and another 5 points.
So we've got Iron Tyrant really in the thick of the pack there, pushing against that 2 wall.
That's right. We see blockers spinning around there, holding captive the South Africa jammer.
Wonderful sweep by Gaz, 8-0-0-8 for England, clearing those blockers from lane 3 and 4.
Little recycle to the back of the pack. That is the pivot now with the helmet cover in her hand, taking the star for Team South Africa, Iron Tyrant. Strong Athletic believes that every human has the right to celebrate their strength, play sports, be active, find their power, speak their voice, and be seen. StrongAthletic.com. That is Smarty Pants, actually. We just saw her playing with Team USA right before this game.
So we've got just about 2 minutes left on the period clock for this game, and we're going to get straight into another jam for you.
Lead jammer already for Team England.
Alex Valentine twirling, forever twirling, to complete the initial pass and pick up lead jammer.
She's trying to show us her dance moves. Maybe on Sunday night we'll see more of that. Oh! A track cut penalty for Team England, the first jammer penalty we've seen this game. So now we have an opportunity for Team South Africa.
Absolutely. So we have had a star pass. It is Booty Queen now as pivot with the star in hand. So regardless of what happens, this is going to be a full 2-minute penalty.
Right.
Valentine was, of course, our lead jammer. So this is the opportunity as we move into the final minute of the game for South Africa to try and put even an 8-point on the board. This could be a phenomenal... Can you imagine how loud this is going to be?
Booty Queen not getting through on that, was trying to put some pressure on Kid Block, but Kid Block forcing her inside. Oh, huge hit, but not enough. Alex Valentine quick to recover.
It was, however, a no pass, no penalty.
So that was 16-10. That was Kez up front for Team South Africa with Suki Smackhouse. Booty Queen still with the jammer star in her hand. A little whip around the outside of turn 4 for another 4 points, for Team England. And that, just like that, is over. A little replay here.
Yeah, I believe this was the return to that beautiful whip.
Little whip, yep.
That was a very nice whip.
It was a very nice whip.
I feel like I haven't seen a good arm whip in a very long time.
I was just going to say that. I mean, that was something that was definitely practiced early on in the day, and then we've seen the game changing so much with lots of pressure and lots of defense. They were doing so well on their offense, but it's at the end of the jam, a little whip doesn't hurt. So that's that.
That's that, exactly. We are, of course, waiting for our official final scores. It is a clear England win. It's just a matter of by how much.
That's right.
And we always wait for our referees to make sure they've ticked off and double-check their scores with our wonderful score tracking officials.
That's right. So there it is. It is official. The final score, 283 for England. South Africa, scoreless, I'm afraid.
Now, this may have played out to be a much different game to what we were both expecting.
Indeed.
Scores-wise, at least. But I think that it was still what we predicted. It was fast. It was full on, big hits, and it was still an exciting game.
Yep.
And I think England could have put a much bigger score on the board. You could see there were some real golden moments where South Africa pulled together and really made those jammers work their butts off.
That's right. Again, these 30-minute games are tough because Team South Africa would normally have a break reassess things, maybe change some rosters around a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have that opportunity on day one, but there's a whole weekend left of Derby. Team South Africa is not going anywhere. We're going to see more of them.
Oh, no. And that's the thing about especially tournaments like this where we've got the 4 days, especially teams that are newer to the World Cup stage, you get to see them develop and evolve over the weekend.
That's right. Well, that was fun. Very short, unfortunately. A pleasure calling with you.
And a pleasure calling with you, Electra Blue.
All right. Well, I guess we are signing off. You stay here, though.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere.
Oh.
Next up on this track, this wonderful S1 Helmets.co track, you're going to get to see Ireland v Australia and what will possibly be the noisiest fans, I think, of the day.
I think so.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Stick around, folks.
That's right.